Hey, what's going on YouTube? This is Sever7, and today we are taking a look at the Gecko Customz Sikorae, and that's with the ultimate goal of seeing if this is going to be worth adding to your collection or your daily carry. Now, this knife did come from the Lefty Pass-Around group. I don't get to keep it, and it will be going back to the Lefty Pass-Around group after my review. This was designed by Gecko Customz and OEM'd by Bestech. So just getting the elephant out of the room, anyone that's seen even a single review on this knife has some idea of whenever it was released. You know, it was priced at $425. That's not currently what it's at now, but it was priced at $425, and a lot of people were taken aback by that because, you know, Bestech doesn't even price their knives at $425. And when you look at this knife on paper, it can be a little hard to figure out where that number is coming from. So we're going to go over the knife like normal, talk a little bit about why the price was the way it was, and talk about what the new pricing for it is right now. So just jumping into it, for the scales, we've got this white Storm carbon fiber, which normally I'm not a fan of, but this one in particular, it's kind of chaotic looking. It's got, like, when I say chaotic, I mean like it's got these little like spiky bits of carbon fiber all over the place. I don't know, it kind of looks like it was sketched in. The white is a little more subdued, and there's a lot of blacks and a lot of grays, which I think is awesome. Perfectly smooth. You can feel the transition, but it's just barely. And then we also have matching carbon fiber on the backside, which is always an awesome touch. We're rocking T8 hardware for the entire body, your pivots, hardware screws, everything. Everything's T8. And then we've got a deep carry milled titanium pocket clip that is not reversible, and that's because they would have to cut out a little bit of the carbon fiber and stick it right there, and it would just be kind of an eyesore. I can't remember. I don't think they made lefty versions, although I might be wrong. But this one's definitely not ambidextrous. We do have a little bitty bit of a backspacer, and we have no lanyard hole. So lefties and lanyard lovers, you guys are completely left out of this. So I don't know, this thing's pretty easy to manipulate on both sides. So lanyard people, you guys can fall back on using this for the lanyard, and lefties, I'm sure you guys can. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, all right, so everyone's included. That's fine. As far as the ergos, got a 4-finger grip, not really any spare room, but I don't feel cramped. It's just holding it casually, it's comfortable. But if I apply some force to it, the pocket clip does become a hot spot for me. I say hot spot, I should really say warm spot, because hot spot is like this actively hurts. Warm spot is that's kind of annoying, right? So it's not really a hot spot, it's a warm spot. It's kind of annoying. And then if I were to white knuckle it, then it would be a hot spot, right? So just keep that in mind. The pocket clip is, not adding to the comfort of the knife. You know what I'm saying? The knife feels pretty weighty. It's got a good heft to it. Like, I would say not heavy, but like a confidence-inspiring heft. We've got pretty darn good balance, because that's going to be about where your pointer finger is going to land. So that's where you want the balance to be. It makes the knife feel lighter than what it is. We don't have any jimping up here at all, which is kind of a shame, because, I mean, everything about this knife says I can work hard. You know, I mean, look at the blade. The thing's built for slicing, you know? So, yeah, kind of a bummer there's no jimping on it, but it is what it is. Really handsome looking knife, though. Looking at the blade, we've got that beautiful belt satin, flat grind, and it just looks stellar when it catches the light. We've got the maker's symbol right there. Now, what's cool about Gecko Customz is starting out, I mean, as long as I've been in the community, a few years now, Gecko Customz does mods, and they do spectacular mods. They will completely replace the scales. They'll replace the inlays. They can do reblades. They can take any knife pretty much and make it look like any knife. As a matter of fact, for the people that were ordering these, because there was a plain tie version, you could order it, but then also order a modification with it, and he would do it for you. And then more recently, in the last year, he put out a few knife designs. And then most recently, he's been doing custom knives. I don't know if he's always been able to do custom knives. I never seen it or heard of it, but it just looks like he's stepping up his game and evolving over time. And his custom stuff looks great. You know, big props. If you guys don't follow him on Instagram, I'll have it linked in the description. You guys should definitely give him a follow because he just always has cool stuff going on. And if for no other reason, just to check his mods out, check out his latest designs and things like that. Definitely worth a follow. As far as this blade goes, back to it, we've got a nice drop point, and we're rocking MagnaCut steel. So MagnaCut, it's going to be super good edge retention, super corrosion resistant, and it's fairly tough, right? So, I mean, this is going to be a good all-around daily user steel, but it's also a super steel, you know? So if you need high performance on the regular, MagnaCut's a great option for you. Now, as far as the acoustics go, the acoustics are fantastic. We have satisfying acoustics on the flip. If you listen, you can hear a little click on the disengage, which I always appreciate. And then on the drop. And then we've got this, I mean, it's like, it technically is shake shut, but really it's almost hydraulic. And over time, I'm willing to bet it will become hydraulic because I'm barely shaking it. Like, I mean, there, I shook it a little too hard. It almost completely closed. So, I mean, but the action on this thing, fantastic. I mean, you get good resistance, almost like a relaxing amount of resistance on the way out. Whenever it lands, it feels good. You know, you can feel it kind of, not vibrate, but you can feel the feedback of this locking up through the handle of the knife. The disengagement not only sounds good with that little bitty click, but it feels great. You have so much access, right? So it's been scooped out right there, and you have a scoop out on this side just to give you more room to get in there. It's so relaxing to just, I'm in there, little click, the blade starts to drop, and then you can just give it a little encouragement to go down. Now, I already did a lefty flick. As you guys know, I'm terrible at all things lefty, and I just failed it. I just failed it again. There it is. But if I can flick it, then actual lefties are going to have no problem whatsoever. I know Lefty did a review on it, and he didn't have any problem using it this way either. Try the thumb. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, see? So, I mean, yeah, I'm willing to say this is lefty friendly. It's not super lock bar sensitive, and you have plenty of room to sit here. You can sit up here on the pivot as a lefty, or you can sit down here on the pocket clip. But either way, like, as far as a non-lefty friendly, lefty friendly knife, I would say this is higher up there. As far as an overall length goes, you're rocking about 7.37 inches overall. You have a 3.04 inch blade, and then your blade to handle ratio is 0.7 or 70%. And you can kind of see that too, right? You can see that the handle is visibly longer than the blade, which is, let's see, which one? Let me see if I've got one that's not that. Is this one? I don't have one on me. They're all a little leaning towards that 70%, but we're going to jump into size comparisons anyway. Let's do the milled aluminum Civivi brazen. Okay, so that's going to dwarf the Sikorae. Let me scoot it up a little bit so I'm being fair. All right, so it's going to dwarf it even harder by about an inch. We're going to bust out the Vosteed Martin. This one has a review coming. Big fan of the Vosteed Martin. It's probably in my top 3 favorite Vosteeds. We're going to go ahead and do the Real Steel Sylph, which is a fantastic budget knife. I already have a review on it. Check it out. And the Sylph is about 1/2 inch shorter than the Sikorae. And then last but not least, the large Civivi Praxis. And that just stifles it. I mean, that's crazy. I mean, this is a little bit more than a full-size knife. But it makes this look like a, 5th pocket carry. Now, I was talking a little bit about the price earlier. So whenever this first launched, it came out and it was $425. It was $425. For reference, you can get like a Riot Integral for about $425. So, was the maker just price gouging and just getting every dime he could out of the community? No. The difference is with Best Tech, their prices are going to be lower for their own knives because they control the manufacturing process, right? So like the knives get made. Best Tech doesn't actually OEM their own stuff, but regardless, Best Tech doesn't have somebody between them and the consumer that needs a cut. Just like if Riot makes an integral, they don't have somebody between them and the consumer that needs a cut. So in the instance of Gecko Customz, well, Best Tech made it, and then the owner of Gecko Customz that designed it, he also has to mark it up. That way he can make money, right? It's a business at the end of the day. And then that markup is passed on to the consumer, right? And Best Tech has been known to be like the most expensive OEM out of the OEMs that we see most commonly. Like I'm sure there's more expensive ones out there, but when you're looking at like Riot, Best Tech, QSP, Vosteed, Best Tech is known as being the most expensive, right? So we have to factor that in too. So regardless of the reason why though, as a consumer, you want to get a good value, and $425 for this knife is not a good value. However, the owner of Gecko Customz, the designer of this, he took some steps to try to alleviate that. So the first thing he did was he took the price of this from $425 down to just $325. Now that's that's good value, right? For what you're getting here, $325, absolutely. Absolutely a good value, 100%. That is pound for pound spot on. I mean, because if this was like $299, I would have lost my mind. Like, how are you doing that, right? So $325, I think it's a fantastic value. The other thing, though, is because that's still a lot of money for a knife, is he came out with the Sikorae Lite, which is also up on his website. And that's going to be like micarta handles, G10 handles, things like that. I believe still Magna Cut, and that's coming at around $179.99. Now, so you're sacrificing the titanium and the carbon fiber scales, and you're saving $120, right? So, we have to assume he's doing everything he can to get the price down as low as he can while still making some money. But I think getting this down to $325 and getting that one down to $179, I think both of those were great moves and shows he really cares about his customer base, right? These are up on the website right now. There's this version for $325, and then there is a Gecko Green carbon fiber, which is like a vibrant, like more lime green, like same type of carbon fiber, but replace the white for like a lime green. And that one I believe is $355. Looks really, really cool. So, depending on your style, like if I love the lime green carbon fiber stuff, I'd spend the extra $30 to get it, right? If that's what you love. But otherwise, there's no difference. You can just go with this version right here, and it'll all be the same. Or you can go with neither and just check out the Sikorae lights. I haven't gotten to handle one, but all the reviews I've seen it on have been glowing. Everyone's like, this thing's fantastic. And one thing you want to keep in mind too is that there's knives that, if you look at them on paper, they look overpriced. A prime example is the Beg Knives Seishin. It's D2 with a steel bolster and a G10 handle. And that thing's like $125. So it's like, on paper, it's like, what? Are you crazy? Is it made in the US? It's not. It's made in China. So normally people would think, oh, that's got to be like a $80 knife, right? But when you get it in hand and you realize that it's got the same build quality as a $400 or $500 knife, and I'm not kidding, the build quality, it's as if you gave cheap materials to like a custom maker, which he is a custom maker. But imagine giving the cheapest, like if you watch any cooking show, it's like they have this person that doesn't know how to cook and they give them all the best ingredients ever. And then they take this person that's a master chef and they give them like, you know, crunched up ramen noodles, you know, flour, you know, some Tabasco sauce. I mean, they give them nothing and they still flip out a delicious meal. It's kind of the same thing with that Sikorae. It's like they didn't take the most expensive handle materials. They did take a great blade steel though. And they put it all together and the experience is greater than the sum of its parts. Now, like I said, I haven't personally handled it, but from what I've been told, I have handled the Seishin. I know what that feeling is like to have a bunch of inexpensive pieces feel like a premium knife. So, you know, that's why I can say don't just look at it for its materials. Don't think, G10 for $180. Don't think that. You know, give it a fair shake. Like, look at it and think, okay, so I've got this like high-level knife maker who's working with a high-level OEM, designing and making sure that the fitments and the quality is spot on, the tolerances are spot on. Okay, so maybe it is, you know, G10 or micarta. But if it feels like the $325 variant, well, then $180 would be pretty darn great, right? Especially if you're getting the same performance out of the blade steel. So would I use this? Absolutely. Yeah, this thing was built for slicing, no doubt. I mean, it's not a hollow, but, you know, regardless, it's a mega slicer. And, you know, the fidget factor for me, all day. And that's really what I need. Can you accomplish the basics that I do? Can I fidget with you? Do you look cool? Yeah, it looks cool. I mean, I prefer Damtanium personally, or an all-tie, like a milled titanium version, but I can get behind this. You know, it's not my favorite carbon fiber, but I think this particular one looks pretty badass. Would I collect it? For me, this would be more of a user. This wouldn't find its way into my collection, like, you know, where I permanently keep things. But I would buy and own this knife. It wouldn't make it to my collection, but it would make it to my pocket like all the time. I mean, it's that delightful to just manipulate and use. My question for you, as always, is this a knife that would find its way into your collection? Is this a knife that you would carry and use on a regular basis? Do me a favor and drop a comment down below and let me know if this knife will have a spot in your daily carry or collection. I will link the Gecko Customz website with this knife, also the Sikorae lights, basically all the knives that he has. I'll link that down below. And even if you don't want to buy one, just go there and check out some of his mod work. I mean, it's just cool to see what people can do, you know, with a knife that you're familiar with and turn it into something you don't even recognize, you know. So I would say check them out there. I'll have the Instagram link down below as well. And if you want more reviews like this, hit the like button and subscribe. And then you can also follow me on Instagram and TikTok at SEVRSEVN. There's a giveaway video out. It's about 4 minutes long. I posted it just a few days ago. It says giveaway all over the thumbnail. And that giveaway live stream is going to be Tuesday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Okay? All right, that's all I have for you guys. Until the next time, appreciate the love and support. Thank you all. Peace.